Hey, welcome back, everybody. This is our Monday night Dicey Decisions game. And this game is called Hello? Dicey Decisions Zeros to Heroes. We are playing a slightly unusual campaign in that we're starting from level 0 in a narrative type of situation where characters are just trying to do things and we'll see how it turns out for them. That being said, so far we're from a little town in the world of Exandria and on the continent of Taldori, outside of the huge, vast reaches of the city of Emon. And our little town, Gladewell, has been accepted into Emon's covering embrace, and we are currently celebrating that introduction ceremony and outreach program going on from the city of Amman to the small town of Gladewell. And our characters are youngish people who are meeting people from outside, sometimes for the first time, and getting opportunities to go places that they've never had before. Now, that terrible introduction. That doesn't really encapsulate what's going on, but we are in the middle of kind of a festivity where there are challenges set out to people who want to try. And currently, we're down one player for the day, and she will be back with us next time. Fingers crossed. But we're going to do our best to forge on without her for tonight's adventure. And so, bringing us back to the moment, we've had several events today in the first day of the challenges and celebration. Our first was climbing up the mountain, trying to be the first back to town with a golden flower called the Golden Crest Top. And our characters formed a team, and they came in second in that contest. We had a sword fighting contest where Pieta, against all odds, managed to forge a victory against a town bully type character. We had a cooking event where Sunny did her best to make an interesting concoction, and the results came out interesting. And that's what the judges said. We've met a bunch of visiting dignitaries and important folk from all over the place. Rip, our gnome character, was confronted by a couple of huge centaurs, and Rip appears to be slightly smitten by that encounter, and many other things that you've missed, but you can on YouTube. So, let's bring it back to our celebration. We just finished the cooking contest, and we are going to retcon just a little bit, pull it back to about an hour earlier, where we zoom into the crowd. Crowd is milling in this big arena type area set up in the meadow outside of town. There are pavilions and booths and small tents and kiosks where people are selling and giving away foods and drinks, and dignitaries are watching from the shade of the tents, and the arena is marked out by 4-foot posts sunk into the ground. And inside of this arena right now are several contestants, I would say around 20 young people and a couple middle-aged folk who are gearing up and flexing their arms and gearing up for the arm wrestling contest. And among those people, we can zoom in down into the crowd, and we find a young human. He's a short guy. He doesn't look impressive, but he's sitting on a stool across from another kid that he knows, and his mom is behind him gently massaging his shoulders and pulling on him and giving him last minute tips like you need to turn your hand and your wrist at such a time and trying to say it quietly enough so the competitor doesn't hear. But what is Stony thinking amid the hubbub around him as he preps?
Uh, Stony is a little nervous. He wasn't nervous before, but now that he's sitting down, he's like, oh, wait. I hope I don't lose on the first round. No one wants to lose on the first round. And he'll turn and say, Mother, please. I'm going to do just fine. I don't think I'm going to win all the rounds, but I at least want to win one. Just let me focus.
Yes, 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 yes. Remember all the things I've told you. She gives you a big kiss on the cheek and makes a big show of it and claps
Mother!
you on the back harder than you expect because your mother's a fairly brawny woman and goes off to the ranks of the crowds. Sitting across from Stony is a person that you've known for quite some time, pretty much your whole life, on and off. They are in and out of Gladewell frequently. This is Bluin Harim. She is a tiefling with red skin, and you know that she and her family are hunters and fishermen, and they're constantly coming in with big game and selling it for meat and pelts, and they're pretty much trappers and traders that come and go. You've seen these people before, but you've never actually spent time with them. They've always been a little exotic to you in your kind of farm life. So this tiefling winks at you across the table.
Ah, yes. I mean, no. I mean, stop getting into my head.
I don't have to stop. I'm already there. Puts her hand up. I can't wait for the whistle to blow. You look a little scrawny. I don't see much competition here.
Hmm. Well, don't count me out too much. I am a farmhand after all. I do have to uh, pull and push cattle around and haul some things, so you might be quite surprised.
Do you see
Prepare to
my...
get licked. Not that way.
Oh.
I regret saying that. Oh my god.
She grins and says, do you see this wrist? She holds up her wrist. This
Uh,
wrist has been broken 4 times, and every
that
time it's healed a bit stronger. Let's see your wrist.
my wrists have never been broken. That's such an odd thing to brag about, but I suppose it will give you an advantage? I'm so confused.
Shall we use left hands?
Oh, left hands. Well, I mean, if
Which of
you're
yours is
offering,
stronger?
that's a great question that I don't know the answer to. But if you'd be willing to find out, I wouldn't mind, I suppose.
I'm using my right. It's actually never been broken. I just wanted to get deeper inside your head. Or has it been? I'll never tell.
Right. Well, this has been a wonderful conversation, Bluey.
Blew in.
Blue in. Yes. Blue in. Not
BL.
blue at all, you seem to be, but fantastic name. I am not insulting your name, or unless that is getting in your head. Then I am insulting your name, which I'm not doing on purpose, but for the purpose of the competition.
All of these words you speak, are they necessary?
No, no, they're not. Let's get down into the nitty gritty then.
Are you going to lick me?
Only figuratively.
You mean not literally? Okay. Well, she puts her hand up on. She says, "Now wait for it." And the people running the contest are all right. All elbows on the table. Everyone, be ready. Clasp hands. You clasp hands with her, and she says, "I wish you would lick me." And the whistle blows, and she immediately has the advantage as you're taken back.
Oh,
Um,
I don't
what?
particularly want to do that, but I wanted to do it figuratively.
What? What? Okay, so this is a female tiefling. She looks strong-ish, but you're clearly stronger than her but you are on your back. Like you're being pushed down. She got an advantage from you from the outset. What would Stony do to be able to pull it back together?
So Stoney's method, he knows that he's not particularly good at explosive strength, but he is good with endurance. He is good at like when he feels the pull of like the reins or the animal suddenly turns. He's really used to reining in that explosive strength and dragging his way back to victory. So he's going to let her have the advantage at first, but then slowly make progress over time. He's trying to tire her out.
Okay. Um, you guys have hands clasped and you are 45 degrees backwards. And Stony just grits his teeth and says, "This is as far as I go." And just holds that spot, refuses to give. And she is pushing and gritting her teeth. You see her starting to sweat. She's just giving it all. She starts standing up slightly to lean her shoulder over, and the judge has to tap her and sit her back down. And as that happens, she gives a fraction off, and Stony takes that fraction back. And a minute passes where you're just deadlocked. Stony refuses to give up. She's like, "Go down. I've got you. Go down. Surrender." And Stony just digs in. And every time she isn't straining to her fullest, Stony gets another quarter inch, another half inch, or should we be saying centimeters, millimeters, until Stoney's back at 90 degrees. It's a deadlock, straight up and down.
You will be licked.
Is anyone else watching this? Sonny, you're there?
Yeah, I'd be there cheering him on.
Okay. Rip?
I'm
Yeah.
definitely there.
Okay.
Yeah, this was in. Wait, in what part of the day was this? This was before the
Right
performances?
before the cooking, yeah. So it's
Oh,
late.
before the cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like we would all be there to support Stony.
Okay. Is there anything you guys would be doing from the spectators to give him encouragement or heckle the other person, or what would you be doing out there in the
I
crowd?
would I take Grim out. So Grim is also watching Stony and like I'm personally like cheering Stony on, saying, "Woo, Stony!" And then Grim goes and I turn his little head so he's looking at the opponent and says, "You're so slow. You can't do this. Um, you got the grace of a drunken troll."
You're talking to the tiefling that he's against?
The tiefling, yes.
Okay. It does catch her attention very briefly. Stony, are you okay with them helping? Like, if
Oh
you
yeah.
don't win this completely under your own thunder, is that okay with you?
Oh yeah, it's fine. I mean, uh the way that he sees it is Balloon was trying to get in my head, So if there is some sort of mental factor to it, then it's on Bluin to not let the mental affect performance.
Perfect. So when this raven cocks its head and she's looking around, her eyes are rolling. Both of you are sweating now. She catches you, Sonny, and the raven out of a raven-headed monster puppet out of the corner of her eye and settles on him just for a second and hears him uh, antagonizing her, and that's all Stony needs. She gives up an inch, and then, bam! He slams her hand down.
Yes! Oh, oh, licked!
You
Licked,
hear
I say!
Pieta. You hear Pieta in the crowd.
Rip too.
Wait,
Oh, oh, my heart. Oh, oh, Lord have mercy. Please, never turn into a horse or a cow.
I didn't think you had it in you. Well, fair to you. She sticks out her hand and shakes.
Oh, oh, you were
Don't start
stump.
with me. I was just kidding. I don't want you to lick me.
I wasn't going to, only figuratively, and figuratively I have, probably.
Well, good luck to you. I think that means I'm out, so I guess I'll go get something to drink. She punches you on the shoulder. Thanks for nothing, walks away.
No.
So you look
Simple.
around, the other contestants are finishing. You do notice that the fellow that fought Pieta in the sword fight is one of the contestants in the arm wrestling. Stigger. And so you see that he's won his fight. He doesn't look any worse for the wear, although he is limping when he stands up. His ankle's still troubling him. But he won his bout, and unfortunately, it comes to you and him for round 2.
Aha.
This is the semifinals. If you win this one, you go to the finals. If you remember, Stigger is quite a large fellow. He makes Stoney look quite small.
Yeah, I would think that his hand is about 50% larger than Stoney's hands,
Fair.
more than likely.
Yeah.
And Stoney's hands are kind of clammy going up against him. They're not going to feel great in Stigger's hand.
Right.
They're going to
Well,
feel quite cold and sweaty and sticky.
Stigger at this point is slightly inebriated, not completely trashed, but he's had a few, and he's been mollified by not winning the sword fight, and he's pretty pissed off. So he sits down, and when you guys clasp hands, he pulls his hand away and says, "Could you wipe your hand, please?"
Sorry about that. Of course.
Little shits.
while
Hey now.
while he's wiping his hands, Pieta from the crowd tries to be like, "Hey, you better watch out! You're about to get licked!"
Yeah, he's gonna lick you.
Yeah,
Yeah, lick him, Stony.
get him, Stony.
Your mom runs up and gives you a big wet kiss on the cheek and says, "That's for good luck," and runs off. You see, Stigger is also slightly preoccupied, still scanning the crowd for someone, but he settles in, and you guys clasp hands. You going left hand this time, Stony?
Yeah, his right arm is a little.
Okay. Stigger looks at you funny. Left, is it? All right, I'll beat
Uh,
you the hand. Wipe it off.
I've already done that. Sorry, it's just profuse. You might just have to deal with it at this point.
No slipping free. He puts his hand up.
Okay.
His grip is like stone.
Ah,
It hurts to he's trying to squeeze your hand too tight.
ow, ow. That's not part of the competition. Stop that, ow.
As you're complaining, the whistle blows, and he instantly has you 45 degrees backwards.
Ah, ah.
He goes, this is gonna be easier than I thought.
Probably, but I'm going to try.
What is Stony thinking right now? Do you think you might have a shot?
No, he's like, God, please let it end.
Okay.
His mental is not good at it at this point now.
Okay.
It hurts.
Stigger continues gripping really tight on your hand, and he gives you some more space. You can see that he's letting up. He's got a big grin on his face. His breath stinks.
Oh,
Is that
what are
all
you
you
laughing
got?
for? Probably, but you know, if you're just playing with me at this point, I'd really appreciate it if you just finish it now, because
Grinds
I'm
you
really trying.
back to 45 degrees. You ready? Oh, how about if I give you another chance? And he goes back
No,
up to
please.
90.
You're prolonging this, but I am
Boom!
okay. Finally. Oh, oh, God,
That
gods.
was your face, runt. He stands up and walks away.
Well, I'm glad it was my hand. Oh, it's over. Oh,
Your mom comes up and gives you a big hug. Says, "You tried hard, darling. Now, shall we go to the cooking contest?"
oh, please, anywhere but here. Whew.
Okay, so you guys start to shift to the cooking, and that's where Sunny was competing. And we will go beyond that now, skipping forward in time. As the cooking contest ends and the performance contest is approaching, what are you guys doing to prepare in any way? You know that Sunny is going to be performing. Anyone else?
I want to support Sunny in some way. Maybe I can make like a quick flower crown for the puppet. Or matching flower crowns. I have matching flower crowns for you and your puppet. As some extra cool factor.
I love this so much. I immediately put mine on, and then I put one on Grim, and he's like, "This thing's fucking stupid. Why would you do that?" And he like tosses it off.
All right. That's an auspicious beginning. Uh, Pieta, anything?
Supporting Mel or Sunny.
Sunny, yeah. If unless you're doing something else, you could do whatever you want at this moment.
Generally, probably just still hanging around Rip and Stony, wherever
Okay.
they are.
So as
Like cheering her on though, like
sure,
encouragement.
sure.
Yeah.
We're not quite to that time yet. So as you guys are going over to get a good seat, there you hear an explosion in the distance from one of the tents. And people are looking around. What is that? You see a little mushroom cloud rising out of one of the tents off to the side. Most people are just look around and ignore it and walk away. Some people jog away to get as far as they can. Very few people approach it to see what just happened.
How far away is it from like where we currently are? Because I'm assuming we're like
Oh, it's not
near
too
where
far.
the
It's like
person.
50 yards away.
Okay.
You could easily
Guys,
walk over there if you're interested.
did you hear that, or was that in my mind?
I heard that.
What
Is
was
that
that?
smoke?
No, let's go look at what it was.
Why?
It looks dangerous.
Somebody could
Oh,
need
it
help
already
though.
exploded, so we'll be.
Uh,
Then that
okay.
is true. I want to go see.
Well,
I'd like to like start standing behind them and like pushing them forward.
Sure. Okay.
Let's go.
So,
Let's
is
go.
there
I'm
anybody?
already going.
Is Pieta gonna go reluctantly? All right.
yeah,
So
reluctantly, he's
you
getting
guys
pushed.
get over there, and you hear what sounds like arguing from the inside. They're speaking in common, and one of them says, "The blue liquid. That's what I meant. Not the purple liquid. The blue liquid." And you hear another voice say, "You said purple. Don't change your mind now." You take a peek in.
I'll just fully open. Like I'm assuming there's like a
Sure.
plant flap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just like fully open it up and be like, "Hello."
There are two people in here that look a little bit crazy. One is a human. She has a brown sash, which represents she comes from Kemal, which is the nearest large city to this place. She has huge glasses. Her hair is tied up in a bun. Her robes are covered with pouches and pockets. She's got bowls and gourds tied onto the sash that are hanging around her. She's got pockets full of herbs and stuff. On the table between the two is a small metallic figure, about a foot tall, but it's sitting down. It's like a puppet made of metal. The other person is a male gnome, and he has a little blue cap, which signifies the city of Emon. From under his hat is wild white hair sticking out everywhere. He's got these big heavy goggles on, wearing thick gloves, wearing blue robes, and he is covered, his front is covered with black soot. And so is the inside of the tent ceiling. And this little metallic puppet spins its head all the way around and goes back to normal, and it opens its mouth up, and they say, "It's asking for more. It's asking for more. What color this time?" And there's a huge bunch of chemicals and minerals and powders and tinctures and herbs on the table between them, and they're mixing things together to make potions and give it to this thing, and feed it into its mouth. They don't pay any attention to you guys standing in the flap. "Let's try the same thing, but we'll put rosemary in it this time." "Rosemary? What? Bullshit. Rosemary won't do a thing." "What
Maybe
if
you
we...
want some beer.
What? Who is it? What?"
Guys, I think we should leave.
No, I want to see how this plays out.
This is so
Uh,
cool. Give it some
would it-
beer. Get it drunk.
Beer? Oh, no. This thing does not eat or drink food. This is... One of them hits the other. Students, possibly potential students. "Oh, yes, quiet." The gnome tries to stand up tall and wipe the soot, just rubbing it in a little further. He rubs his forehead and leaves a big smear across it. Yes, quite. Welcome. Welcome. You must be interested in the halls of alchemy from the Alabaster Lyceum. That is why you're here. Is that correct?
No.
Who?
No. They're interested in the halls of alchemy from Kemal. Aren't you here from Kemal? We are the nearest one.
Just wanted to make sure you guys were okay. That was a big explosion.
Yes, quite, the gnome says. That was impressive, was it not?
That's one word for it.
One never knows what will happen until one tries. Now then, if you're not here to talk to me, then I shall get back to my work. And the female, the human, comes walking forward. Are you interested in the tenets of alchemy? And learning more? And becoming my student? And traveling to Kemal to learn everything there is to know about wizardly alchemy? Is that why you're here?
I had considered it, but I don't know.
Come right in. And she scoops you in with her arm, trying to
Oh, no.
hustle you forward. Do you go?
Stony is very much socially persuaded, much to his dismay. So he always feels obligated to go.
So she swoops you in. The rest of you guys are just standing in the doorway, I guess.
Help!
Oh, there is nothing to worry about, boy. Yeah, it's fine. Everything is fine. Just let's see. So, look, a little pinch of sulfur, and this tincture here, and she puts some drops in it, and the sulfur starts sizzling and boiling. Nothing to fear, nothing at all. And then we simply now. This is the foundation. This is the base of a very simple formula that I like to call, and she rattles off a name that you've never heard. It's the base of many different spells and formulae and potions that don't taste very good, I will admit, but they can do fantastic things. Now, this base can do nothing on its own, nothing at all. But if you mix other things in and make it just so, then the world awaits your fingertips. Now, let's try some of this. None of this stuff is labeled. They're just grabbing stuff willy-nilly and putting it in there. It's clear that they know what it is, but no one else who walked in here would.
Well, this is all great. So, what kind of potions do you make? Do you make, I don't know, make ones that make you go faster, or make you feel good, or
What is this? What? There's no. Of course we can make any potion there is. The interesting thing, the important thing, is to try to make new ones. We're bored with the just general ingredients and recipes. We must try, and try we must.
And the lady says, well, I mean, we make all kinds of potions, to be clear. We make potions for the army, for the magocracy, for everyone, the Thieves Guild. Everyone is a client. But we do like to experiment, if I may be so brash. We like to try new things. For instance, yes, questions?
Did you say the Thieves Guild?
Of course. Yes, the Thieves Guild is one of our largest clients. In Kemal, that is.
So like criminals?
Well, they call themselves the Thieves Guild, but they do have quite gold. So, we certainly can use it, and we make things to order. If that sounds like a fun experience for you, you are welcome to come learn it. But the truth is, we don't have many people who are willing to come try and learn from us. So, if you are interested, we will certainly take you on board.
You have like a business card or something?
I do not. How about you pick one of these items and we'll put it in the vial and see what happens?
Oh, well, this isn't really my strong suit. I make simple alchemical healing potions with my dad and Rip over there, and
Well,
Pocket.
hell, come right in. Come on. To Rip. Can't hear you.
You can't had it off for dog reasons. Hi. Yeah, I don't really know what alchemy is. Is it anything like herbalism?
Oh, it can be quite herbal that is a route one can take. If you're interested, I much prefer mixing esoteric ingredients that one doesn't exactly know what the interaction of chemicals will do. There are many magical things. We are not I am not particularly interested in finding the relationships of just living matter to other living matter, as many herbalists would do. I prefer the more exciting things. Yes, the more exciting, the more interesting you can come up with. That's for me, of course. And
Um,
he takes the vial from her hands and starts adding stuff. Yes, Pieta?
Piazza kind of says shyly, I might have an interesting question invention.
Make sure it's interesting. As he turns his back to you and he starts putting things into the vial.
Well, I read a book, and it was about this hero that he threw around really heavy chainmail, and it was really sticky. And I don't know. I was wondering if you can kind of make that where it kind of maybe you could take something small and just make a lot out of it, like a bunch of that chainmail to throw at evildoers.
Sticky chainmail? Sticky chainmail? Never heard of such poppycock. But yes, we can make things sticky, of course. Have you ever heard of glue?
Yeah.
That is a magical kind of glue called sovereign glue. Once you apply it, it will never be broken apart. Never.
Hmm.
But I will
Piazza
not
kind
make
of
that here.
Piazza kind of writes that down. Okay, that's all the questions I had. Bye.
Now,
Rip,
he swirls it. Go ahead.
Rip's gonna look at. You said they've got shelves
Uh-huh.
going on behind them. Rip's gonna kind of look and see if they see anything interesting, and see a vial that looks kind of swirly and green, and pick it up and hand it over and say, "What does this one do?"
Well, if we mix it with this one, it should be quite interesting. He pours some into the um, that is simple eye of newt. As most people know, the eyes are crushed and blended, and he puts it back in. Now, let's see. He speaks some words of magic, and you see the canister glow a second and disappear. Now, hold still. And the thing still has its mouth open. Now, within this creature, this mannequin made of metal, we're not quite sure what to call it, are we? No, we're not. This is something that was delivered to me not very long ago. We're trying things. There is a glowing piece of rock inside, and it does make the most interesting reactions. Yes, now stand back, everyone! He pours it into the thing's mouth, and just foams, bubbles up, and starts spilling. Well, that was less than expected. He looks at Rip. I've newt, really? He turns around in a huff. Well, I guess that didn't have quite the reaction we were after. She puts out a finger and touches the foam and feels it. Well, no stickiness, no No, Oda, I think that was a dud.
She picks up the little thing and dumps it out in all this nasty liquid. And way more than just that they just put in comes flowing out. Clean it. And she puts it back down. The thing rotates its head and looks at her and then opens its mouth again.
Well, have we taught you? Have we engaged your curiosity? Are you ready to become alchemists?
I don't know. It's kind of confusing. I'll think about it.
I have so many questions, and I'm not sure which one to ask first.
The most important one is always best to go first.
The most important one for the situation or to me?
Either way, just ask your question. We love to answer questions. That's what our whole job is.
Okay.
Yes. Let's try another one.
And he walks away from you in the middle of. He just clearly is not going to wait. And he starts mixing other stuff with his back turned to you. She leans forward and taps on your forehead.
That question's in there somewhere.
Yes.
And she
But-
turns away from you as you start to speak and says, No, not that one. Try this one here, the silver nitrate. And she goes over and she's already lost interest in you.
Yeah, Stony begins to back away.
Okay.
And tries to hide behind Pieta, who's taller than him.
They are back into their mixtures and they've almost, well, I think they've completely forgotten that anybody's here. They've latched back onto their investigations.
It's gonna just like slowly start backing away.
Okay. And they're arguing.
But my dear, why, Tantan, this is the wrong. No, that's the one. That's the correct one. Watch, you'll see. Well, if it doesn't work.
As you guys are slowly backing out, you hear, as you lose sight of the inside, you hear a whine start to emit, like, getting louder and louder and louder. And then you hear like the sound of a tin can being crushed. And as you stop and listen, it goes, and you see shrapnel come flying out through the through the material, the sheets of the tent, and through the opening.
Well, so much for that one. At least we can harvest the stones inside and see what their makeup is.
And the other one says,
Frankly, you're bleeding quite a bit.
and that's the last thing you hear as you guys walk away.
As we walk away, I'm gonna turn to Pieta and Stony and say, "I'm gonna send Pocket over there. They'll love them. They're gonna be best friends. They're gonna have a great time."
Yeah, I agree. And boy, do I have so many questions, but not sure where to start.
I wish Pocket and them the best.
10 minutes!
You see your sister sprinting around the arena.
10
To go prep. Wish me luck, you all. And I
Oh,
walk away.
we have to get front row seats.
Good luck. Yeah, let's go.
Did her sister just smack her on the butt again? Did I just see that?
Okay, so you guys settle into your seats. You can find seats toward the middle of the crowd, but not the front. There's tons of little kids sitting up front waiting for this show to start. And of course, some parents are hovering nearby, fastening clasps and things, trying to get their Their kids all suited up for the big performance. Sunny, you sign in, you check in, and what are your preparations backstage?
Um, well, she did just say she had to go prep, but her prep is literally nothing other than just standing around and like staring at other people to see what they're doing. Like she's never performed before, so she's like, "Am I supposed to be like warming up my voice? Like what's happening?" I'm sure other people have instruments, so like she sees that, but she doesn't want to have Grim out yet. So Grim is like within her cloak right now. So yeah, she's just staring around trying to make it look like she's doing something while doing absolutely nothing.
Okay. The first act comes on. They are tap dancers, a tandem tap dance duo, and tappity tap tap tap. And are you getting nervous as your time comes, or are you just totally yourself?
Yeah, I feel like Sunny's usually a pretty confident person, but right now, like this is the first time she's ever performed in front of anyone. So her hands are getting sweaty, and you can see her like trying to rub them off on her like skirt, and her voice is a little higher pitched than usual and stuff like that.
It's always those last few minutes waiting. A couple singers go on, and a couple of one of the singers is really good. Uh, Catches the attention of Master Leopard, who works at the College of Art, Law, and Science. You see him out in the crowd, um, and you guys have seen him before. His name's Master Dripely Leopard. He's uh, he's a dwarf. He's got short brown hair. Um, a short, pointy beard, brown eyes, really nice clothes. Um, on his shoulder, kind of darting around the back of his neck and scampering on his shoulders, not a squirrel, but a black ferret. Um, and on the far side of the crowd from you guys, on the other side of the stage, is the bard who was playing his harp earlier. His name is Barty Blabarsko. He's the gnome with the long nose, the straight white hair, playing his harp. He's watching very intently everyone who does this. Um, a couple musicians come on, a little like a high school band, and then a solo uh, musical performance, and then they start getting into the actory stuff, and um, there's a monologue. There's a little scene between two people. And then, as this is just flying by, some of them are getting claps, some of them aren't. Um, Suddenly, somebody's saying, "All right, Sonny, you're up next. Go wait in the wings."
The wings?
The wing, just
Oh,
the outside. Just stay on the
oh,
outside, and when they, when these are finished, you step right up.
oh, okay. Thank you. I wander over to where they pointed.
Okay, so the one on stage, this last one is doing like the Emon national anthem, but performing it instead of singing it, like "Our country 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty," that type of thing, and really acting it up, hamming it up. And people are kind of giggling in the crowd, not knowing if it's a comedy or a straight routine. Uh, they get a smatter of claps, and then they walk off. The stage is empty.
I look around to make sure this is when I'm supposed to go out, still a little unsure about myself. I'm finding the person who told me to stand over here and trying to make eye contact with them.
Yeah, they're nodding. They're like,
Yeah. Oh, okay. And I like start to rush out really quickly. And as I do so, I like trip a little in my overexcitement and I like look up to see if anyone saw that.
everyone saw it.
And
Everyone's kind of laughing, hoping this is a comedy.
yeah, I just continue on my way and put a smile on my face and look around and just keep smiling at everyone. Oh, I
Everyone's
start now.
their smiles slowly fade and expectantly, maybe looking at each other and like, what's going on?
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Hi, my name is Sunny. I'm performing a children's play
You get a
with
little
my
clap
friend
around.
Grim. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, I'm very excited. This is going to be great. The play is called The Great Worm Fest: A Grim Adventure. And with like a spin of my cloak, I like sweep it high over my head, and like as it whooshes down, I then have Grim on my other hand, and um I turn Grim's head so he can see like all the children that are like sitting close up to the stage, and Grim goes, "Listen up, squishy humans. Gather round. Get closer, for the tale you are about to hear will be one you will not forget." Oh, wow, you there. I point at Stigger, who is sitting there in the crowd, who has been watching the performances, and goes, "Does your face always look like that? Or did an owlbear sit on you?" And I turn
Get to
to
burst
Grim and be
out.
like, "Hey, be nice. Not
The
right
kids
now."
start laughing, and when you say to scoot in closer, a bunch of them get off their seats and kind of scooch on their knees up to the front of the stage. And
Grim goes,
Stigger's
"Oh,
like, "What did I do?"
I'm sorry. I'm sure others don't mind looking at you. It's not every day you get to see someone who makes others look positively regal by comparison. Well, with the
A
show we
bunch
go."
of people in the crowd laugh, and he's like, "Man, I don't like this person. They're kind of a dick."
Oh, yes, dear friends, buckle up for a wild ride through the misadventures of some very unlucky animals, all leading to the same wiggly end. Let the Grim Maggot Buffet begin! And with that, Grim starts like, well, Sunny through Grim starts to like narrate this very like outlandish story of various animals that all are in a series of absurd and like comical scenes. There's a giraffe with like a long, elegant neck, and it like trips over an imaginary root and collapses in exaggerated fashion as it breaks its neck and dies. And then there's an anvil that falls from the sky and just squashes like various unsuspecting critters with a cartoonish crunch each time. And Grim is like trying to narrate it with details and like acting out how the animals die each time. The scenes start to escalate in absurdity as more unlikely disasters occur. There's a porcupine that gets entangled in its own quills until it's eventually poked itself to death. There's a hedgehog that is flattened by an enormous rolling pin as it was trying to steal a pie from someone's house. And after like several minutes of Grim just going on and on about like various animal deaths and how they all just die, the play starts to draw to a close. And Grim delivers a vividly gruesome description of what happens to all these animal carcasses that are now all laid out. And with exaggerated drama, he describes how the once proud creatures are overtaken by swarms and swarms of wriggling maggots that enthusiastically feast on every last morsel of flesh. He paints this like detailed picture of this process, and he starts from the initial invasion of the maggots and then the slow, inevitable decomposition, leaving nothing but empty bones and a few scattered remains. And in the grand finale, Grim makes a theatrical transformation into a comical maggot, and there is a complete with like exaggerated sheep fur stuck haphazardly onto him, like as he like is trying to look like a maggot. And he goes, "In the end, we all become maggot munchies." And with that, Grim takes an exaggerated bow with his like bat wings and takes a final flourish, and a few tufts of fur like fall to the ground. And Sunny standing there, just looking around.
You hear a couple like, and most people are eh, the one the loudest and clearest thing you hear is a little girl stands up and walks back to her mommy, says, "Mommy, I don't like that." And The other kids, people are just kind of looking, just not sure what to do.
Uh,
Um,
Stony immediately stands up and says, "Bravo! Bravo!"
Yeah, the
You are
joint.
the only ones doing that. Um, the bard pulls out his harp and just starts playing like a mournful little tune to kind of wrap things up. Uh, the person who sent you on stage says, "Okay, Sonny, you're done. You can come off." The
thanks.
next person is walking up there, and they have a mandolin that they're going to be playing. So Sonny comes
Before
off
I walk
stage.
off stage, though, I'm gonna like walk up to the front line of children and have Grim like put out his hand and try to shake them as I walk off.
Most of them have backed away at this point, either during the story or now when Grim walks up, especially in his maggot form. They're like, no, gross, and uh, you can't find any kids who really want to shake a maggot's hand.
It's not gross. It's part of life. And I finally walk off and make my way back to the stands to where my friends are.
Okay.
As Sunny walks up, I'll pat her on the back. I thought it was pretty good. It was a little graphic, but it was really good.
That
You
was
liked it?
It was hilarious. I've had so much fun you describing these outlandish scenarios in which animals die. It's truly absurd and it tickles my mind so much. How did you come up with such amazing material? I am
Well,
agog.
not a comedy. It was supposed to be like very like it's supposed to be educational about death. I made it for the children.
Oh,
Well, I mean, it was
You're
definitely
delightful, I
about
guess.
death.
If you yeah. You oh yeah.
It,
I
it,
really
it,
like Grimm's maggot costume. It's very cute.
Thank you. I made it myself.
So,
Well,
as you guys are finishing up your conversation, and the last act is finishing up the song on stage, um, Barty Blabarsko, the gnome, walks up to you and he just looks at you. That
hi.
was something. It was quite something.
Something good?
The puppet. It was interesting. Did you form it yourself?
I did. I gathered various dead animal parts and sewed it together.
Did you treat it accordingly so that it won't rot and fall to pieces?
Well, of course. I work in a morgue as a side job, so I've learned how to take care of dead bodies.
Excellent. Well, we could use a costume designer at the at our Bard College, College of Hoopla and Ballyhoo. We could certainly use a designer. Now, your performance will take some work to improve. Yes, it will. And he's thinking about it as he just walks away.
Um, I turned to the others. Do you think that was a good sign, or I think
I
you
mean,
yeah,
liked
it seems
it?
like he wants to hire you.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that went better than I could ever have imagined.
me too. I mean, I'm proud of you.
Thanks, Tayeda.
Pieta, about this time you see your buddy Harry, and he's walking with Mary. And when you guys see each other, they both run up to you and clap you on the back and congratulate you about your sword fight and stuff like that. Harry is way too busy to hang out. His dad needs him, but Mary says she can stay for a little while, so she's going to walk around with you guys.
Oh my gosh, Mary! How has the competitions and everything been for you of the festivities? What you been doing?
I've been busy, I've watched a little bit of it. I did see the end of your bout. That was quite impressive.
Uh-oh.
I
Oh no.
just,
Oh,
We missed
yeah.
that. You froze for a sec. Can you repeat that?
yeah, I don't know how I pulled that off, but I felt so sore afterwards.
Are you are you sore?
Yeah. Well,
Where? Did you get
oh,
hurt?
just on my arm. Yeah. Well,
I saw him hit you in the head quite hard. Are you okay?
well, I couldn't really walk straight, and I was making no sense when afterwards. But I think now, good. I'm okay. I mean, I'm okay. I'm good, right? Anyways, I think I'm doing better.
Good. Well, do you guys want to walk around and get some drinks and set up for the firework show?
That sounds awesome. Yeah, I
Yeah.
haven't seen you in a while.
Well, since last night.
No, I mean, I guess it has. Feels like forever.
You've had a long day.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to be sitting with my mother, but she'll probably let me wander around and find you. Where will you be for the fireworks? On the hillside with most of the people or elsewhere?
I don't know. Hey, guys, where do you guys want to be for the fireworks? I mean,
Uh,
Mm.
mm, I don't know what those are. I've never seen them before.
They're magical explosions that the wizards will be sending up, and they'll be forming all kinds of pictures and shapes in the sky. Very full of
Oh.
light and sound and color.
it's a fun
S-
spectacle.
So, like those alchemists over there, making explosions magically? Because if it's anything like that, that sounds dangerous.
Uh, They may have been involved. I'm not. I don't know. I've never seen them either. I've only heard rumors, and people are talking about how spectacular it'll be.
We could
Okay.
definitely go watch. How close can we get?
Uh, well, it'll be quite high up in the sky, from what I understood. But
Hmm.
I think if you're on a roof or on the hillside where they're planning to have people sit, you can see it really well.
Oh, let's get on the roof. That sounds cool.
We could sit on the roof of the tavern and have a couple drinks.
Yeah, if I can drink.
What was
We've
that,
only
Yeah.
Oh, nothing. Yeah, well, that sounds like a great idea.
Oh, great.
We've never. Pieta, have you been on the roof of the tavern before? I've never.
Nope.
And who are you, miss? And she's talking to Sunny. Hi, I'm Mary.
Mary, I'm Sunny. Are you
Hi,
always happy because you're Mary?
I've never heard that joke before. Um, I'm happy
That's
enough.
good.
Are you are you happy? You seem quite happy. Have you been on the roof of the tavern?
Oh, no, never. I try
Oh,
not to go up high anywhere.
oh, okay. She kind of turns away, wondering what you're doing, what you're talking about. Well, I tell you what, Pieta, that was amazing. I've seen very little, but I did see your final encounter, and then I've got to go tell Mother where I'll be, but I'll look for you in an hour for the fireworks show.
Yeah, yeah. That means a lot to me that you were able to watch that. Thanks for coming out, and hopefully you enjoyed it.
She gives you a little hug and a kiss on the cheek, and then leaves.
Alright, so where are we going now, gang?
Why are your cheeks all red?
My cheeks are red. What are you talking about? They're perfectly fine. Now where are we going?
Oh,
Let's-
yes, you are quite flushed at the moment.
no,
Why
let's not
is
talk
that?
about my cheeks. The cheeks aren't important right now. I'm asking where we're going.
Are you too hot? Do you need
Are you
like an
dealing with
ice?
a fever?
Yeah, I think that's something to do with it. Maybe it's really hot out. I think I need a drink. Why don't we get some lemonade? Yeah, yeah. Let's get some lemonade. I think I'm gonna pass out.
You hear from behind you guys, lemonade. Yeah. And Thorber is walking by. Here, have a sip. And he gives you this metal flask. I saw what you did out there. Take a sip.
You're
It'll put hair on your nethers.
you're brother Thorb. Hey, you're Thorber. Hey, you're back. Hey guys, it's Thorber. You guys see it's Thorber. It's Thorber. This guy.
Heck, I've been here the whole time.
Oh,
Are you going to drink or not? Because I'd like my flask back.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna drink. I drink every day. This is normal to me. Yeah, I drink. Okay. Oh God. Oh God. Ugh. Uh, bottoms up, pal. I kind of like punch him softly on the arm. Oh God.
He doesn't budge.
That's so good. That's so good.
But Peter, you spit it out.
All right. Give me my flask.
Wait, I got this. And he just forces a chug.
Uh,
So
you
good.
got a lot to learn, kid. He screws his thing. He takes a swig of his own, screws it back. Now, I could teach you how to use that sword. You know, if those have been real swords, your head have been caved in. You wouldn't have walked away from that one. First
Yeah.
blow.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe I was in over my head.
But good on you, sticking with it, getting your blood out of it.
You think so?
Hey, I've seen worse for sure.
And like on the inside, Pieta's just squealing like a little girl, like, "Oh my God, I just got complimented by Thurman," and he's like dancing, he's like doing a little jig.
Settle down, kid. You should
No,
be
no, no,
glad.
this is in his head.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But on the outside, he's like, "Yeah, yeah, you're right." Just like trying to be all stoic and.
Like I said, I could teach you a lot. I'm not really looking for recruits like a bunch of people are. Just happen to be passing by. But, you know, if you last a week, you'll probably last longer. Come learn to fight and hunt things with me, with
I'm
us.
sorry. Are you inviting me to be um
To learn, to train.
your sidekick? Or your apprentice?
Fuck no.
Oh,
Apprentice. You'd make money just like the rest of us. You'd have to learn how to use that blade, though, for real. And nets, and ropes, capture things, haul them back, or kill them when they need killing. That's what we do. Learn by
who's we
experience.
again?
The Slayer's take.
The famous Slayer's take. So okay, let me get this straight. You're inviting me to be to join the Slayer's take. Is that right?
Well, most people don't last the first week, like I said. But you're interested. Look me up tomorrow before I leave. He gives you a punch on the shoulder now, and it practically knocks you on your butt. He walks off.
Did you see that? Did you see that? I just got invited to join the Slayer's take. It just hit me now, or maybe that was the punch. But wow, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do?
You just have to last a week and not die.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's probably not gonna happen. All right, well, that was fun while it lasted. What a fun fantasy. All right, shall we go?
Yeah, so there's a lot of tables set up with, again, free food and drink. Um, People are starting to light fires and torches so that as the sun disappears and it goes into the evening, there's light everywhere. Stories are being told. People are seeing you guys and occasionally saying good work because they've seen you doing different things throughout the day. Most people are ignoring you because there's been a lot of contestants. People are starting to drink alcohol and get loud and laughy, and it's a celebration. There are all of the dignitaries and visiting people. You see the centaurs walking around, towering over everyone. The wizard is here and there. You see clerics, um, all the people, and they have groups around them and lines around them. They're talking, they're answering questions, they're joking. They're also drinking and eating. Everybody's having the best time they can. Um, Tomorrow is another big day of revel of challenges, but tonight is a night of revelry and fun, and the fireworks celebration coming up. The noble from Emon is nearby. You see him talking with his retinue. He's not with the mayor this time.
Do we all notice him?
Yeah, you guys are walking through the crowd, grabbing food and drink, I would imagine. And he's standing there with his 6 people in his retinue.
What is retinue?
His group of followers. He's got
Okay.
2 red-robed people. He's got 2 green-robed people and 2 gray-robed people, all kind of standing in a group, and he's talking with them.
So it's a busy crowd, right? They're like not on a pedestal somewhere.
No. They're just in the crowd. People are milling around, walking past them.
Gotcha. Okay. Pieta notices him, and he whispers to Stony and the gang, and Ripon, Sonny, I'm like, hey guys, hey come along with me and kind of trust me on this, but lay low and stay quiet. And I like bring them and like huddle around next or near as close as possible to the nobles group, and I ask, do any of you guys excel at eavesdropping?
So you're
Not
trying to hear what
really.
he's saying.
Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
let's try to listen in.
What are you doing to disguise the fact that you're just kind of trying to listen to them?
Um, we do we have cups in our hands from like
You
for
can,
celebrating the
sure.
festivities?
Yeah.
Uh, so would it so for sure like celebrating and like I'm like that's a funny joke, but would it be weird to like make a little camp out, like maybe like set our stuff down, like kind of we chose this coincidental corner to like be our little rest stop.
I mean, it might not be the optimal place to stop and sit on the ground, but you could.
I will full on like lay down on the ground because he told us to lay low. So I just like we like walk over and then I just like go down.
That does draw attention, and they look over at you and start edging away a little bit.
I'm gonna lean down to Sunny and be like, I don't think that's what he meant by that. I think you can stand up. I think you're we'll just kind of we'll just chat. What kind of fireworks do you think we're gonna see?
Do you think they have ones that can turn into animals? And I like stand up, completely forgetting about the fact we're supposed to be eavesdropping.
Oh, I
Fireworks
didn't
can
think
turn
about
into
that.
animals? I highly doubt that.
So
Oh,
as your
I
friends
just
are
learned that they can explode. Who knows what else
chattering
could happen?
away, Pieta, you overhear a few snatches of conversation. You hear of interest. That's the Duke talking. His name's Duke Granbury. He was on stage earlier.
Mhm.
And he's talking to these 6 people. You, one of the ones in red, it's a woman. You see that she's pulled her hood down and her head is completely bald, and she's got freckles on her face, kind of orange eyebrows, like she's a redhead.
Mhm.
And she's says, "Yeah, there's all kinds of. You can feel it all over. The weave is thick around here." Um, the other one in red doesn't say anything. Um, one of the ones in green said, uh, "Who is a half elf?" He's got long, dark hair. He says, "Perhaps below. We can check below. I think that might be the most likely place." Um, and the ones in gray, there's a one of them is a dwarf, an elderly female dwarf, and dressed in gray, and she says, "No presences that I've come across yet, but it's possible. We're still looking. There's a feeling, definitely a feeling." And the Duke mutters other things and eventually says, "Very well, continue." And he walks one direction, and they all filter off into the crowd.
I just sneak my way back over closer to the group and listen on in to the gang. And
They have a duck.
I just don't see how that's possible. This is all giving me a headache, but I'd really like to see it if it's possible at all.
Kita. You're right.
yeah. Hmm? What?
Hello? Hi.
Oh,
You've returned.
sorry, I was spacing out. Have you guys ever heard of? Sorry, real quick. What was the first thing I eavesdropped and I heard? A weave.
You did hear the weave.
Okay. Sorry, I was spacing out. Have you guys ever heard of this thing called the weave? Does that ring a bell to anyone?
It's the magical energies that surround you. It's Wizarding 101.
Oh, right. Yeah, I knew that. Second question. I mean, my real first question. Anyways, the do you guys know that if there's like an ancient lore or anything that this city is kind of rumored to have by chance?
I can tell you what you guys would know.
Yes.
Gladewell has been around for 500 years. Um, Basically, the little river that runs, the creek slash brook, river, whatever, that runs through town, is pouring out of a well that comes from underground, which starts higher up in the mountains. And when this town was, the story is, when this town was founded, they found that artesian spring in a glade. So they called it the well in the glade, and now it's Gladewell. There are old ruins of buildings that have been, fallen hundreds of years ago. It's an old town, but it hasn't gotten too much bigger. It's never been bigger or even smaller than what it kind of is right now. You guys
Right.
do also know that people call it Happy Town for some reason. That's an old other, like a nickname for Gladewell.
I don't know much about this weave that you speak of, but when I ran into the Grinch, the scary old lady earlier,
Uh
she
huh.
was talking about the weave and a web that holds this town together. I don't truly understand what she was saying. I was just really freaked out by her.
That sounds interesting. Something holding this town together.
She's
Pocket
looking for
talks
an
about the weave
apprentice.
sometimes.
Who?
Pocket, my
Oh
toss.
yeah.
They talk about the weave sometimes because they use magic, but they don't tell me a lot about it because well, today was the first day I used magic. Maybe they have more to tell me about it.
You guys notice that noble guy behind us? Are any of you guys suspicious? Any of you guys cautious around him? Does he look a little suspicious?
As
Or
you
is it
guys
just me?
swing around to look back to where he was, he's walking directly towards you, and he's got a plate of food in his hand and a stein of ale in one hand, and he stops in front of you. Aren't you the one who won the sword fight? Good job. Bully to you, and keeps walking past.
Dang! But thanks? Thanks, I guess. Alright, well. Seems like we aren't really worth his time. But yeah, anyways, yeah, I guess that guy, yeah! What are the chances of that? Does that guy look suspicious? Feel suspicious to any of you all?
As far as I know, politicians are all suspicious, so that makes them the most likely candidate for being the most normal if they're suspicious.
Yeah, kind of all of this is a little suspicious to me.
I can't seem to put my finger on something. Is that the saying? Anyways, well, I guess let's go find a way to get on the rooftop, huh?
Sonny, as you're standing there just kind of wide-eyed looking around happily at your friends talking about whatever, you feel a little tug on your skirt. And you look down and there's a little girl looking up at you like snotty nose and very dirty little dress. She goes, I liked it.
When she approaches me, I pull out Grim. I have Grim like bend down right next to her face to face and go, "Hi there."
She sticks a finger up her nose. You're funny. And she pokes Grim on the beak.
Well, you look silly. Why are you so short and snotty?
She cocks her head and then gives you the raspberry and walks away.
First fan encounter, guys. That went so well.
You might want to wipe the snot off your puppet.
Well, get there. Wipe it.
And now wipe your hand. Oh, just
I go up to you and like wipe my hand on your shirt, Payeta.
I guess I deserve that.
So you guys are going to crawl on the tavern roof. Well, you tried to. Of course, they run you off. You can't get on the tavern roof with just impudence. They tell you to go up to the hillside where everybody else is. That doesn't mean you have to. There are other roofs to try, but the tavern keepers run you off. Actually, what's her name? Your friend, Sonny.
Thylindra.
Thylindra
tavern owner?
says, You know better than to get up on the roof of the tavern. Go watch it on the hillside with your friends. Hey, by the way, Grim?
Yeah.
Kind of a bastard.
He just likes to tell it how he sees it, you know?
Yeah, I guess so. Oh, cheers, Sonny. I liked it.
You did?
Yeah, just don't get on my roof.
Okay. Can we have some drinks to go at least?
Well, they don't look quite of age, Sonny. You
Well,
vouch for 'em?
this that like really skinny one over there that did the sword fighting. We can throw in some apple juice for him.
Sword fighting, eh? Huh.
Yeah.
Look, just don't tell anybody you got it from me. And
Sounds great.
she wait here, and she brings out a big tray and gives everybody an ale.
Lovely.
Now,
As I
Bring those glasses back here when you're finished. They don't grow on trees. Enjoy yourselves.
Thanks,
Thanks.
Calandra.
And just so you know, I won that sword fight.
I'm a grown-up gnome. I'm an adult gnome.
I am an adult too, though I don't look like it.
Yeah, Pietro just kind of like takes him by the shoulder, pats him.
So, are y'all going to stay on a roof, get on a roof, or hillside?
Going where y'all are going. But sounds like the hillside is the place to be.
Unless
I
someone
can't.
has a different suggestion, I think we'd start walking that way.
Okay. It's
Yeah, I was trying
easy.
to come up with a cool other spot, but I couldn't think of anything. I don't think Stony knows the town that much. I think he would say that Hill is probably the best place to go.
It absolutely is because they're setting it up so that you can see it best from there.
Okay.
So up on the hillside, people are laying out blankets and stuff and sitting on there waiting. And soon the wizard and the alchemists, you see them setting up. The wizard that you met, Stony,
Mm-hmm.
Master Elpum from the Alabaster Lyceum, and the two alchemists drag up a whole bunch of equipment, and they're mixing up stuff, and the wizard is drinking some of it, and he's got he opens a case, almost like a briefcase, but much bigger, like a rack almost, that he folds open, and you can see there's a whole bunch of little wands laid up in there, in a big array down the line. And he projects his voice with a spell. He says, "Everyone, prepare for the show of the evening. Find yourselves a seat, make yourselves comfortable, and if you would like to do this one day, you can come with me to the Alabaster Lyceum in the huge, lovely city of Emon, only if you're very smart." And so he raises his hand, and people are all taking their seats and talking. Ooh, we can go learn that. He raises his hand and shoots a fireball up into the sky. Boom.
Rip's eyes go wide. They drop their glass, turn around, gone, running out of there.
No kidding.
That was way too much. Above the head? A fireball? Are you crazy? Gone. So they're running. They're probably gonna get about 30 feet behind the group and just right into one of the centaurs as they run. If that's cool with you.
Yeah. The next thing that comes curling up. So as you run, you feel you're dodging through people who are sitting down. They're almost as tall as you. You don't see where you're going. You're just fleeing in just fright. And you run into something soft. And you're lifted up off the ground. And the big brown female centaur says, "Why are you running?"
Did you see that in the air? I didn't know the fireworks were going to be like that. I was trying to I didn't think they were going to be like that and so high up and above our heads. And it was a lot. I'm trying to catch my breath, trying to not hyperventilate.
She waves her hand over you and you calm right down. "I just cast a spell upon you. I hope it helped. If that was too forward of me, my apologies."
It helped. Thank you for telling me it was a spell.
"You're welcome. I would not change your mind if I thought it were not necessary. Would you like to watch the show with me?"
Oh,
At that
yeah.
time, you guys all see a snake, a big, shining, sparkling green snake, climb straight up into the sky and turn loops and fly around before disintegrating.
Knew there'd be animals, Stony.
Yeah, I don't know how long this spell lasts, but if it wears off, can you cast it again? I really want to watch this.
Very well. She puts you on her back and kind of turns her torso to wrap an arm around you, kind of just like holding you tight, and you just feel warm and secure. If you get nervous again, I mean, you're welcome to leave. But if you stay calm, you could stand next to my legs, or you could stay here on my back.
Okay.
At that next time, like 4 or 5 sparks shoot up and start exploding bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until they form a phoenix. Just huge wings outstretched. The whole thing looks like it's burning on fire, and it flaps its wings and disappears. He turns to look
Pieta's
at you. Go ahead, Pieta.
he very like not crazy built, but he's not he's leaning he's a little bit on the scrawny side. Um, cannot hold his liquor. He does not drink, and so he's just like, this is amazing, guys. No, amazing.
Hmm.
Then I would take the rest of Pieta's glass away from him and just down it in one sip.
That was
Perhaps we shouldn't have encouraged underage drinking.
Ah.
Oh, so good. This show is so good. Where'd your rip go?
This is all a dream, Pieta. Nothing's happening right now. It's all in your head.
I knew it.
As
Don't worry,
Pieta
I'm great
falls,
with children.
Pieta falls on his back and just watches from lying down on the hillside. Daniel, are you actually gone?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay.
I'm still here.
The next
You
one,
say my name? I mean, you call for Piazza?
the next one is a fish that jumps, like arcs out, and then a giant bear's head arcs the other way, and the fish disappears into the bear's mouth. And on this goes for about 20 minutes of just these amazing things that you've never seen before. They're all made of light and fire. They're all making sounds as they go off, and people are oohing and eyeing. It's fantastic. It's probably the coolest thing anybody in this place has ever seen, including some of the dignitaries. They're all watching in amazement, just as you guys are.
Stony
as
would
oh, go ahead.
Stony was going to check on Rip. So you go ahead.
As it kind of goes on, and Rip kind of gets used to that this is a spectacle and not actual warfare happening right in front of them, they'll kind of slide off the centaur and stand next to their legs as they kind of hear everybody ooh and ah and the kids giggle and the kind of sounds of everybody enjoying kind of brings them back into, okay, this is a big deal. This will be fine.
Yep. Go ahead, John. Stony.
Yeah. Yeah, Stony definitely goes and checks on Rip. He says, "Hey, Rip, are you okay?"
When Stony walks up, Rip's gonna get a little pink, a little embarrassed, a little red. Yeah, I'm okay. I wasn't really expecting it. I wasn't really expecting it to be like that. And they said it was gonna be above us, but I didn't expect so close. But I'm feeling better. I'm so sorry. Ma'am, I forgot your name.
Well, I'll find it just a sec. Her name is, she says, you may call me Thistle.
Thistle. Thistle cast a spell, helped me and helped me calm down, and I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay. I've never seen anything like this before. I mean, I have seen something like this before, but it was like not it wasn't fun. It wasn't like a fun thing. Um it was just it was a surprise. I wasn't really expecting it um to be like that, but I'm feeling a lot better. Thank you for checking on me.
Of course, we are we are friends after all. And Stony gets really pink at that. Uh, and he sort of scratches the back of his head, and he starts to say something, and then he mumbles a bit, and then he like turns around, and he says, "I am really having fun with everyone here, and you too. And to be honest, I was scared too, and I am scared of a lot of things. Most of most about the future, and the future where I won't be able to see you as often. So yes, and things and such, and what am I trying to say?" And then he just starts looking at the fireworks again, just kind of standing.
Um I'll kind of nudge him and say, "Well, maybe we'll always find our way back here. I mean, Pocket lives here. I think Pocket's gonna stay here, for the foreseeable future. So I know I'll be coming back here, um, pretty often, every once in a while. You know, I hope we'll run into each other.
Yeah, yes, I'd like that too. To see you again.
Me
These
too.
uh these fireworks are something. I've never seen them before.
I know they're really bright. I didn't know that they could make fire into shapes like that.
As you guys are talking, the finale is going off and explosions make rows. There's like stacks. There's a bottom row and the next row and the next row. And what it's doing is building up this beautiful castle with spires and turrets and cupolas and crenellated walls until the entire thing is probably 2,000 feet high in the air. It looks like it's a 3D outline of a castle. And then it all comes raining down like snow. And the wizard waits for it to settle and says in his loud, projected voice, that is the final one, and I hope you enjoyed yourselves. I, for one, am going to have another drink and to go to bed. I will see you on the morrow. And he starts walking away, and the crowd is starting, they're all clapping and cheering and packing up to leave.
As we get ready to go, I'll turn to Thistle and say, "Thank you for watching the fireworks with me. I would really like to learn how to do what you did. I know a lot of people here are looking for apprentices. Are you guys taking apprentices?"
She kneels down. She kind of sits her whole body down, just kind of lies there. Her torso is still erect. Says, that is an interesting question. We are here to gather recruits to learn our trade and to carry on the old traditions.
We will be watching you on the morrow to see if you are suited to join us. However, a large part of being suited to learn these things is the will to do it. I introduced myself. I am Thistle Earthhoof. And you, Small One.
I'm Teblin Root Ripper, but everyone calls me Rip.
Wonderful to meet you, Teblin. Rip. She stands back up. You see she laid down probably just to get closer to eye level so she wouldn't have to, like loom over you. And so she stands back up and she stomps her front hoof and she says, "Tomorrow then," and turns away. Okay.
Okay.
What is Pieta doing right now other than lying, sleeping on the grass?
Trying to get up right.
Yeah, sure. He got startled by that loud noise. He was, what was that? What was? Where'd everyone go?
Stoney's gonna come over and try to shoulder him a bit.
Rip will try to get the other side, but can't. Just pushing up into his armpit.
He's taller than all of us.
Wait.
Please stand still.
Where'd everyone go?
Sonny, today has been really quite delightful. I find your company very pleasing, which is all the more strange that you would decide to be a prisoner of that terrible elf girl.
Not a prisoner. She seemed very nice. And she can hold her drink, unlike some in this group.
Hey, Stoney, you complimented someone. That's not like you. Yeah, that's so funny.
Why don't you like her?
She... Well, that's not important. She just did something to me that is not very nice. Very reprehensible.
Did he break your heart?
No?
Oh,
Stop
break your
guessing.
hand?
Anyway, if you'd rather not be a prisoner of Fern and a friend of ours, well, we don't have many friends, or at least I don't have many friends. But
I'm
that
your friend.
isn't to say... What?
I'm your friend.
Right, yes, you are. That's one.
He like starts hugging him.
He'll
I
look
tried to start hugging him.
around Pieta directly at him.
And there's Rip. I have two friends. Two.
Sonny, you should be our friend. Sonny, you're now our friend. This is awesome.
That is
We
where I
have
was trying to go.
friends other than Grim, so that would be delightful, but I would hate to not be friends with Fern as well.
Can one really be friends with her?
We can all be friends. Yeah.
I question that, but
We have another member. He had a booger on him. What's his name? Grim? Yeah, he's our friend
Grim!
too.
I take out Grim and he goes, "No, I'm fucking not."
Oh, yeah. Okay, my bad. You can go away now.
So Grim back away.
Holy shit, that guy's
Um,
scary. You see that?
Yeah, he hears everything, just so you know.
Oh crap.
Well, my wall
So
always said you don't have to be friends with your friends' friends. So
that's a good point. I don't actually understand how friendship works, really. I've only really been friends with Flinda at the tavern, and that's just because I go there every day to buy beer.
I go, Felindra, and I go look around to find where I dropped my glass when I ran. so I can get it back to her.
You can find it.
Found it.
So
Well,
as the
if
night, oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if we're friends, does that mean we can do tomorrow's competition together again?
Yeah, what's tomorrow's competition again, you guys?
Is it a dinosaur one?
Oh, the dinosaur.
Wow.
I don't know if
Yeah,
I've ever seen a dinosaur, but I bet we could catch it.
it's so cool. Oh, my head hurts.
Already? We better get you to your bed.
Mm, that sounds nice. I start leaning on your shoulder. Your shoulder's so squishy and comfy.
Thank goodness that you are lighter than any of my barn animals that like to lean on me too. All right, let's get going.
As you guys walk back through town, there are still people standing around that you could talk to, but most people have had a long day and are filtering off. If you wanted to go to any of the tents or meet any of the people that are kind of waiting to meet others, you can, or we can head off to bed. Is there
Is,
anybody you're
is
looking
Thorver
for?
around?
Oh yeah, he's still there. He's got like a stein of ale in each hand. He's got a whole bunch of empty glasses behind him. He's by him. Actually, he's not by himself. He's talking to one of the town guard, the one that we mentioned earlier. Her name is Jara, the half orc. She's way taller than him, but they seem like they're having a fun conversation. They're both laughing a little bit, both drinking.
If possible, I will. As I'm leaning and like walking along, I notice him and I get really excited. So like full confidence, none that Pieta usually has, and like I see Thorburn, and I'm like, it's him, and I like start running and trip, and but then something quote unquote miraculous happens where I like do a front like somersault like so elegantly that I didn't know I could do, and like stand up and say, I'm I'm gonna do the thing that you said you invited me to do, and I'm gonna be the best. Yes, just you wait, Torber. Just you wait. And then I like sprint back to my friends.
Uh,
What is that
Jara,
burst of energy when I was holding you up?
I just like lean on him again and like doze off. You're the
Oh,
best. You're the best, buddy. You're the so best.
Jara comes walking over towards you guys as you walk by, and she says, "You're getting him home, right?"
Yeah, if you see Pocket, will you tell them I'll be home later? We gotta get this guy home.
I don't think I'm going to see Pocket unless he walks through town. I'm just about off duty, and she looks back over at Thorber. I'm off duty. Good night, kids. She walks away with Thorber.
You guys
y'all
are
know
so
where
cool.
Payeta lives?
Stoney does.
yes, I do.
I live wherever the world wants me to live. I'm an adventurer.
If
You
you last the first
certainly
week.
are.
What's that, Sonny?
Oh, I just said only if you last the first week.
He like gets really scared. A week to survive a week, and then snaps like just forgets about it again and just like.
Stony, you do see there's a couple of guild members talking over there. The mining guild, one of the mining guild guys, is talking to one of the merchants, and they're just talking about numbers. And the miner is saying, uh, you overhear a snippet where he's saying, "Yeah, we don't have many mines around here, and what we do have produces mainly just iron." And the merchants trying to cut a deal like, "Yeah, we move iron, we move uh, lumber, hadrosaur leather, If you want to start selling our direction, we could certainly make a deal here. That type of stuff. Just talking business.
Okay. I think he'll like kind of Pieter and says, "Okay, come with me for just a moment," and he'll walk up to the both of them, or to the two groups, I suppose.
Hey, can I help you?
Uh, yes. Well, no, I don't. Well, I mean, yes. Uh, you all have booths in this fair, right? You're the Merchants Guild and you are the Miners Guild, I suppose.
Yeah, the Miners Guild guy is a dwarf, and he's got really nice clothes. Like he's high level. He's only here because um, he knew there was a party, and he's not actually a miner. He's just one of the higher ups. And uh, the merchant who was talking, as a human with long blonde hair, brown eyes. He's got a dagger on his belt. Uh, he doesn't look nearly as wealthy as the dwarf, but he's in nice clothes.
I just wanted to introduce myself. I am Stony Ironbark. Um, I was in some of the competitions today. I don't know if any of you saw me, but I will be attending your booths tomorrow to discuss possibly looking into. Well, I don't know. I'm looking for something outside of this town, and I hope that you'll have me.
Interesting. You good with numbers?
Yes, I love math. I can work numbers.
Well, do you know percentages?
Uh, sure. Give me a problem. He does like a finger gun, and he immediately regrets that.
He says, if we load 22 cartfuls of iron ore and we smelt it for 17% comes out real iron, and we sell that for let's say 10 gold per iron ingot, uh, if we're lucky. Uh, what would be our rough take on the overall cost? Of course, you need all the cost. Now we have, let's say there are 15 workers, each earning 6 gold per month. How quickly could we break even, do you think?
So, 22 carts of iron ore, with the
Per week.
17%
Oh, I forgot to say, 22 carts per week.
per week, and your workers work on a monthly schedule or hourly rate, did you say, or a daily rate?
It depends. Depends on the contract. Most of them get paid twice a month.
Well, first, I think I would say that you need to consider the fact whether or not the ore would be more valuable sold rather than making your own smelters. Uh, if you are looking to get into the smelting, you would need to uh, think about the costs of investing in, well, a smelter and where you're going to put it. If you are just selling the ore and the carts, you could.
All right, kid. All right. Yeah, you get the idea. That's the kind of things we do. I've had a few too many cups tonight to really talk about all this, but I mean that's just one of the things you could work with numbers. Uh, as you said, there's a lot involved, lots of cost, lots of overhead, but We need people to figure that out. Of course, we need diggers. You don't look like you're one. Let's see your hands. Oh, you do have some. Yeah, I don't know if you wanted to swing a pickaxe. There's not that much money in it for you, and you wouldn't have to do any internship, but you could get right to work.
Oh, question. Do you do contractual work, or is it more like an employee basis? For mining, rather.
Oh yeah, you work for us. You're employed by us.
And is the pay set, or can the payout be precious materials?
Everything that we find comes to the company. You can take your pay in gold or whatever you want, but you get a set paycheck.
I see.
You could
Well,
always work yourself up from the bottom like I did.
well, thank you for your time.
Yep. The merchant says, "Any questions for me? I mean, we take goods and sell them, and we rely on travel and paying our employees. We have to pay for the upkeep of the roads, taxes, and whatnot, and you know, work deals here and there along the way. We have clients that we make deliveries to, et cetera, et cetera. Someone has to keep track of all the numbers, the paperwork, the contracts, et cetera, et cetera. You could actually be hauling or traveling with the caravan, et cetera, et cetera. You could stay in Emon and run the numbers, et cetera, et cetera. Uh, it can be quite exciting if you find a new contract or if you have a new client. You could go out and try to find new clients, but that's based on commission, et cetera, et cetera.
I think I would take the job that makes me the most money.
I think everybody would do such a thing, but you can't, you don't make that much money to begin with. Internship wouldn't pay very well. You'd make enough to get by, and you'd be a servant, basically, until you learn your trade. That's generally how it works, unless you are coming to us with much experience and specializations.
Well, I have things to consider then. I have to get this one home, so I will take my leave, and I'm certain that you are tired from your day, so I will say good night.
Night to you, kid.
Get away. I didn't know I was here.
Right. I am going to assume that we're going home. Everybody's going to get a good night's sleep. All right.
I need
Then
some
I'm going to
rest.
run one more little short incident by you, and I'll narrate it, and then we'll call it a night. Go home. You discuss with your families if you need to. You put yourselves to bed. And sunny dreams. There's a strange combination of things in your dream. You see a smiling face, and the face zooms in, and you go right to the eye, and it's a tiny red rock, red pebble. And that pebble morphs into a face of the elderly lady that you talked to earlier today. And her face is suddenly a dwarven face who has a bright red nose, which happens to be a bright red pebble, which becomes the eye of the old lady. which becomes the face of a dwarf, which becomes a red pebble. And the three things, the witch, the pebble, and the dwarf, meld and mold themselves throughout your dreams. You toss and turn. You wake up in the middle of the night. Everything's fine. You hear your brother snoring in the next room. Go back to sleep and sleep well for the rest of the night. And that's it for tonight, folks. Thanks for tuning in. We are Dicey Decisions, Zeros to Heroes. I hope that you'll stick with us next time when we try to catch a baby dinosaur, try to practice magic, and take an actual test. Once this celebration and experience in Gladewell ends, our characters will be deciding who and what they will be. So we hope you stick around and watch us as we grow and change through the years. We, once again, are Dicey Decisions, Zeros to Heroes. Good night, everybody.